The Milwaukee Bucks are signing Myles Turner to a 4-year deal worth up to $107 million. And the last year of this contract will have a player option. So Myles Turner could essentially opt in, or he could opt out in the future for more money or to go to another team. This is a very good signing. He's a definition of a 3-and-D center. He's going to fit nicely playing alongside Giannis. And when I look at Myles Turner, he's one of the better centers in the NBA. A lot of insiders will say that he's not an all-star. You don't have to be an all-star in the NBA to make major plays and to have a major impact on an organization. And that's what we got to see with Myles Turner over the last 10 years with the Indiana Pacers, not just this season. He's been Mr. Consistent. He'll go out there and average 15 points a game, shooting 35 to 40% from three. Just shot 40% from three this previous season. In the NBA Finals, he did not shoot well from the field, but he played terrific defense on Chet Holmgren. That defense is needed with the Milwaukee Bucks right now, especially in the front court. And he's a younger player than Brook Lopez. You knew that they had to make a move at the center position when they lost Brook Lopez to the Los Angeles Clippers. So signing Myles Turner, that's a phenomenal move. Chef kiss. What I don't agree with is this decision. In order to bring in Myles Turner, they had to release someone or trade someone off the books. You had a lot of money tied up between Kyle Kuzma, the same with Giannis. Obviously, he's their best player. He has $175 million left on his deal over the next 3 years of his contract. And the last year of his deal also has a player option. Then you look at Dame Lillard. Let's go back and revisit this trade for a second. They gave up Jrue Holiday, one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA at that time. He's still a terrific defender and was a very good shot creator playing alongside Giannis with the Milwaukee Bucks. He helped propel this organization forward. You traded Jrue Holiday, who helped you win that championship against the Phoenix Suns, to Portland to bring in Dame. You traded multiple first-round picks and Grayson Allen, who was a very good defender and was a very good three-point shooter on most nights, to bring in Dame. In order for them to bring in Myles Turner, they released Dame from his contract. It's $113 million that are still left on this deal. They will stretch that out over the next 4 to 5 years. So Dame will still be on the books. They're still going to be paying Dame a lot of money. He just will no longer be with this roster. I feel for Dame. For the simple standpoint, this man will go down as an all-time trailblazer. He was a phenomenal point guard for many years, for majority of his career. He wants out from Portland. They trade him to Milwaukee, which was always a weird fit. Giannis did not need another great offensive weapon around him. It wouldn't hurt, but he didn't need Dame to go forward and advance in his career. They had the perfect team around Giannis, a terrific defending guard, and Jrue Holiday, and the same with Chris Middleton, who was a very good defender and could create his own shot, and he'll stand out the way of Giannis. But Dame, he needs the basketball in his hands. You want Dame to go out there and run the two-man game with Giannis. And once the two-man game did not work out, the pick and pops didn't work with Adrian Griffin, and the same has happened with Doc Rivers, it was always going to be a weird fit. And when Dame was not having a great night on the offensive end, he wasn't like Jrue Holiday. He wasn't able to go out there and beat you up defensively. Damian Lillard has not been a good defensive player for all of his career. He'll have moments where he plays the passing lane and he'll go out there and work in transition, but consistently one-on-one, he's not a good defender. They cut this man because he tore his Achilles in the first round, and they viewed him as a liability. And we don't know if Dame's going to be the same player coming back from this torn Achilles injury. We look at Jason Tatum. He's in his 20s. We look at Tyrese Halliburton. He's in his 20s as well. We expect for both those players to bounce back in a very good way. When you look at Dame, this man is 34 years old. We don't know if he's going to be able to bounce back at this stage of his career coming back from that Achilles injury. I understand why they cut Dame. They had to make the money work. But what you gave up to get this man is going to go down as one of the weaker trades in NBA history. You still made the NBA playoffs. From this previous year, you got knocked out in the first round. That's been the case of this organization over the last 3 years. You won the NBA Cup. That's not good enough for Giannis. What this says about the Milwaukee Bucks, they're desperate as hell right now to keep Giannis around and to keep Giannis happy. A report came out by Chris Haynes just a couple minutes ago that Giannis is not happy with the decision for them to go out there and cut Dame. He can sign anywhere he wants to when he's 100% healthy back from this Achilles injury. But it does open up another possibility for the Milwaukee Bucks. By moving off the Dame contract, it opens up this cap flexibility that you didn't have a couple of days ago. By signing Myles Turner, you re-signed Bobby Portis, who's one of the best bench players that you can have in the NBA. He is so good coming off the bench, and he's just a tone setter. And we saw him start a couple of games in the Indiana Pacers series. He can easily average 15 to 20 points any given night. Bobby Portis is red hot on the defensive end, especially on the offensive end. He's a tone setter, and you need players like that around. So having him coming off the bench, having Myles Turner play alongside Giannis, that's a very good situation. But now you can go out there into free agency and bring in some veteran point guard depth. You need that. You re-sign Gary Trent Jr. He's a very good number 2 guard. He's not a true facilitator. He's a definition of a 3-and-D guy, especially in that one game that he had against the Indiana Pacers. I know that he had the game ceiling turnover late in that matchup, but you look at him from last season, shot 41% from 3, averaged 11 points a game. But this man had a 37-point game against the Indiana Pacers in that series and a 33-point game as well. Gary Trent Jr. can get red hot from 3 any given night. Kevin Porter Jr., he has his moments. But I don't look at him as a starting guard every single night in the NBA. Coming off the bench, he's fine. You can go out there, you can sign a veteran like Russell Westbrook, who can help facilitate this offense, get to the rim at a consistent rate. The shooting is not there, and it's a Russell Westbrook cycle. He'll turn the basketball over, he'll miss dunks, he'll miss layups, but he's going to give you 100% effort every single night. And he did have a good year with the Denver Nuggets just last season. You may not want to re-sign him. Go out there and bring in someone like Chris Paul. I know Chris Paul at this stage of the game, he's older, but he can still orchestrate an offense. He can help Giannis out. He can run the screen game with Giannis. Look at what Chris Paul was able to do with DeAndre Ayton. He's part of the reason why DeAndre Ayton got that big time deal with the Phoenix Suns. He helped improve Devin Booker's game. He helped improve Shea's game long term. You put him alongside Giannis, Chris Paul could be a very good point guard for you. But you need to bring in one more point guard to help you out and facilitate this offense. And I know that you can put Giannis at the point guard position. You don't want Giannis to go out there every single night and to basically be playing in the front court on the defensive end and to go out there and to run your offense the entire time. That's how injuries have occurred. And that's been the case with Giannis over the last few years. They put a lot on his plate. He can handle it, but you want to give him more help. But by going out there and releasing Dame from your team, you open up that flexibility now. You can push that contract out over the next few years. It's going to hurt you sooner than later, but it is what it is. You made this decision now, go all in. But this is an organization that's showing Giannis, we're willing to do whatever it takes to win a championship with you at least one more time. We want to keep you around. You've been here since you started your career 12 years ago. We're going to do everything right by you. So cutting Dame, it does suck. It's a nasty look depending on how you look at it. But it's a business at the end of the day. They moved on from an aging point guard that just tore his Achilles. I hope that Dame can bounce back. And the Milwaukee Bucks, they haven't made the best decisions over the last few years. Let's just be honest about it. They went out there, they traded Chris Middleton and A.J. Johnson to the Washington Wizards to bring in Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma has not been a very good basketball player over the last 2 years. The efficiency is not there and the defense isn't there either. If he can just stop taking dumb shots and his basketball IQ was better, he could be a solid player. And Kuzma, he'll have his moments to where he'll have a 25, a 30-point game on good efficiency. Then the next night, he may go 2 for 10 from the field with 5 turnovers. That's who Kyle Kuzma is. If he can just be more consistent and just have better basketball IQ, Kuzma can fit very nicely alongside Giannis. And I look at Myles Turner. This is going to be a very fun front court, having Giannis and Myles Turner. And the two-man game should work. Giannis can screen for Myles Turner. Myles Turner can screen for Giannis. Look at what Myles Turner was able to do with the Indiana Pacers just this last year, playing with Nembhard, Aaron Nesmith, Tyrese Halliburton, being very good in terms of stretching the floor, shooting the 3-ball at a high clip. He's never played alongside a force like Giannis. Giannis is going to demand double teams no matter what team he's playing on. So I can see Myles Turner being wide open in the corner, being wide open from the top of the key. And this man shooting 40% from 3, that's a recipe for success in my opinion. And he can give you 10 rebounds a game easily in his sleep. He's an excellent rim protector. We'll see what they can do in the backcourt. Right now, the backcourt is the weakness with the Milwaukee Bucks, but giving Giannis a consistent big man, playing alongside him, we've seen what what he's been able to do in the past with Brook Lopez, but you get younger with Myles Turner and you get better defensively. Brook Lopez last season was not a terrible defender, but in the post, he wasn't the same defender that he once was. The man is 37 years old. You now bring in a center that's in his early 30s that's going to give you very good production on both ends of the court. And this is another thing with Myles Turner. He doesn't need the basketball on the offensive end to make a huge impact. Offensively, he can set those screens over and over again, like how he did with Tyrese Haliburton. Him in that front court with Giannis and potentially having someone like Chris Paul in the backcourt, the Milwaukee Bucks are in a better situation for this upcoming year than they were last season. Now, I will say this. They re-signed Taurean Prince. I hate that. And it's not because I hate Taurean Prince as a player. I'm talking about the coaching staff here. For whatever reason, Darvin Ham loves this man. He loves Taurean Prince. Taurean Prince has played big time minutes in the past for the Milwaukee Bucks, especially late in the fourth quarter. I don't want to see it. Give Taurean Prince minutes and doses. Give him 10 minutes a night, 15 minutes the next night to give someone else a rest. But if you're playing him late in the fourth quarter, I don't want to see it. Darvin Ham was not a very good head coach with the Los Angeles Lakers. That connection is there. Doc Rivers in the regular season, you got me. He's a very good regular season head coach. But in the postseason, this man's a 3-1 choke artist. We've seen it happen numerous times now with the Orlando Magic, with Tracy McGrady. Many decades ago, the Boston Celtics, even though he won a championship with that organization, is the reason why they shipped him out. Look at what happened towards the end of that tenure. Even when they had their big three, they were still having problems in the NBA playoffs. The Los Angeles Clippers, he blew 3-1 leads with that organization. Even with the Philadelphia 76ers. So I don't view Doc Rivers as this top head coach in the NBA. Not in the playoffs. In the regular season, he's solid. But in the postseason, he needs to be better. But I doubt that it will happen. But he's never coached a player like Giannis before. But what happened to the Milwaukee Bucks in the first round against the Indiana Pacers should never happen again. And this is also another reason why they moved on from Dame. He couldn't help this. He ran to blood clots and to that issue in the regular season. I just feel for Dame overall. He just had bad luck with the Milwaukee Bucks since they made that trade to bring him in. He didn't have these injuries with Portland. Part of it is because he's getting older. But this is also a franchise. They don't have a choice but to make moves like this. You may say, well, why would they move off of Dame? Why not just keep him around for a couple more years? They don't have a first round pick until 2031. In order to receive some of that draft capital back, you need to trade a player like Giannis. And they're not going to do that unless they have to. You're not going to get a lot of value in a trade for Kyle Kuzma. You're not going to get a lot of value in a trade for other players on this roster either. Giannis is the one that the rest of the NBA is looking for. And right now, with them making this move to bring in Myles Turner, he's going to stay at least for one more season. And when you look at the Eastern Conference, Jason Tatum, torn Achilles, he's going to miss all of next season. Tyrese Haliburton, torn Achilles, he's going to miss all of next season. So you look at the Pacers, and they just lost Myles Turner. They may not be the same team for this upcoming year. The Boston Celtics, they're retooling right now. They may not be the same team. And we're talking about Giannis here. When he's fully healthy, can average 30 points a game, can be an MVP any year. I agree with what the Milwaukee Bucks are doing, but they're trying to cover up for a lot of the mistakes that they made in the past by trading multiple first-round picks to bring in Jrue Holiday, by trading multiple first-round picks to bring in Dame. It is starting to catch up with them. This year has to be the year to where they go and make a deep playoff run. But let me know in the comment section below, how do you feel about the Milwaukee Bucks going out there and signing Myles Turner and moving on from Dame Lillard? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, want each and every last one of you guys stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for the video, guys. God bless.